If you don't like crazy stories or diving down into a rabbit hole, keep scrolling. This video is not for you. But if you are, I'm going to tell you the crazy experience I had this morning when I tried to astral project. Now, lately, whenever I try to astral project, I end up just quantum leaping into an alternative timeline. I'm going to call them ATs for short here. I jump into an AT and I explore. Usually when I go into an AT, I'm always curious as to what this timeline's version of husband is doing in those timelines. So that's exactly what I did. I went searching for that guy and I found him and I walked up to him and I introduced myself. I said, hello. And he, exchanged quick pleasantries and he asked me like, who are you? And I told him, I was like, you're never going to believe me if I told you. And he was like, he looked at me intrigued and he said, try me. Who are you? And I told him, I am from the year 2023. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. You are not supposed to tell anybody the time that you are from. None of that. The gatekeepers don't like it. And that's exactly what happened. There were two gatekeepers nearby. They heard it. They gave me this shocked, crazy look of like, oh shit. And of course, they said something in their little ear speakers, walkie-talkie things. And then they started coming towards me and tried to grab me so that they can clean up the timeline. And this is the first time that I've done this. Normally I run and get out of it. But this time I looked at them and I said, no, I am here for a reason and a purpose. Leave me alone. Go away. And they freaking did. What? I didn't know you could just command them to do that shit. I did it one other time before, but I just thought that was like a fluke thing with that one gatekeeper. But anyways, so then I continued my conversation with him and we sat down and I told him, I was like, in my timeline, you're my husband. I'm your wife. And then all of a sudden, my youngest son was sleeping in bed with me. So I felt him moving and then I felt that energy starting to pull and I started to like dematerialize in that time zone. And I told him, I can't stay. It's not, the energy is not stable, but I will be back. I will find you again. I quickly shot back into my body and then my son was still asleep. So I was like, okay, go back. So then I immediately, and a lot quicker than the first time, went back into the quantum jumping, went right back to that place and then found him again. It took me a minute. I had to walk around, but I found some people walking towards like this restaurant. So I walked towards that area and I found him. I saw his head and I shouted his name and he was like, actually, my name is Doug. And I was like, your name is totally different than what it is in my timeline, but it was really fascinating. He gave me a hug when I saw him again, and I meant to ask him how much time had lapsed since the last time I had been there, but time ran out, just like now.